Okay, we're back. Where have we been? I feel like you forgot who we all are. But if you want to blame someone, blame all for having a holiday. That's all I'm saying. Blame all. Back from the DR, looking all glowy and that. Oh, how you doing? You're good to be back. You're glad to be back. Not good to be back. You're glad to be
Yeah,
back.
I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to coming back and doing this show. I was even like sending you some little like, oh, that's Culture Club. This is who I want to talk about and whatnot. Even though I went here, but glad to be back, man. This is one of mine, if not my favorite show. So,
This is
um,
definitely O's
so
favorite show, Abs, because even in the group just then, it was like, for everyone who wants to know, we have like a meetings group because I think there's that many of us, we can't come on like a Zoom or people won't listen to me on a Zoom. So I think, right, we've got a WhatsApp group post the meetings. Anyway, I go, these are the shows we're doing every week. Da, 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 da. And just because there's that many, I forgot Culture Club. Oh my goodness, was all straight. Abs all just jumped straight on me, didn't it? You've missed Culture
I
Club.
you
Just,
noticed
just
it as
refresh.
well.
Did you
I
notice as
noticed
well?
you forgot
Hey,
it,
what's up,
yeah.
guys? Here, this is my official, my formal apology to you both, Culture Club, because it was in my heart. It wasn't in my head. Do you know what I mean?
not
So
lying
that's
at
why,
all.
Yeah,
just that's kind of why I missed it. But Abs, how
I'll
you
forgive.
doing? In front of
Yeah,
the beach
good.
today, we see.
I am, but you can't really see it. Crosby Beach is behind me. It's a shame because I thought I might have like a nice little backdrop of the beach, but it's just looking at Macy's. I'll just have to
Knowing
look at
your
me.
Yeah, knowing your luck with birds, though, we'd probably
Oh
have a
God,
seagull come and
I
shit on
know,
your window or something, and we
I
don't want
know.
that.
I
So
wouldn't be
we'll keep the
surprised.
sunshine. We'll keep the sunshine. Oh, if you didn't watch the weekly drip this week, like a
Oh yeah,
bird, a cat, everything was going on. Leo's lights cut out. It was madness.
it was.
But it was crazy, wasn't it? But this is Culture Club, the one of the week where we get into all things Liverpool, the culture, the arts, the music, the food. I feel like we need a food one. We need to put some food in there. We've not done food yet. We do fashion, but we're gonna start with the fine arts because we are sophisticated. Um, I've not swallowed a dictionary today. I forgot. I can't think of the words, but I will think of some because the first part of the show is commission that. So let's see. We should start with this week. I think we start with O because he's been absent because he's let us down a little bit by going on holiday. I think we start with O this week, Abs.
I'm not
So
allowed to have a life.
Yeah, I think so.
O the podcaster. Starting with you this week, you've gone with for your commission that, and for everyone that's just joining, commission that is we choose an artist each. Every week we choose an artist. It can be a fine artist, digital artist, whatever it is. Maybe even video. Maybe we get some videos in there next week. But we choose one each, and then we rate them, and then we pick a winner. Maybe at the end we let you decide. So get involved in the comments. This is O's artist of the week, El Wahid Mohammed. Oh, talk us through this beautiful word.
You guys gonna kill me because like you guys can talk about that je ne sais quoi, and I can only go into like certain amount of layers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. But I think in terms of like the colors, the merging, I always try and sound smarter than I am.
Keep it going, because you're making us believe.
I couldn't even take say serious. No, the colors for me, it's like when you just get drawn to a piece of work, and I feel like it's very colorful, very playful. I don't know if the word is no, not abstract. I don't know. That's not the right word. It's very like I like it's pop art. Maybe that's what it is, right? So you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah,
put it.
see, I
And
put the word in there. See, I give you a little
I
tip, like in
appreciate
the
it.
design. I was like,
I
go
didn't
on, say
even
it.
see the
I was like,
the olive.
say it.
Right? Yeah, thank you. No, I just like it, man. It's like it gives me very like just fun, playful, and that like something that looks just it takes so much time, and you just got to give so much credit to the artist. And
Mhm.
even like stuff like you could design something, but even like backgrounds, I love the background as well and the color scheme. It's just that I just loved it when I saw it. So that's why I
Yeah.
think even I was on holiday, I messaged you and I was like, this would be my artist of the week. And I'm sure you guys can go into more detail, but for me, it's just I just love playful, colorful things that you put together. And look at these two pieces of two like legendary Liverpool players as well.
Do you know what? When you sent me this, I was like, this could be the one this week. This could be the winner because it's the realism of it. Like the realism's so good, but I like the playful. like you said, pop art. I like those kind of half-tone textures, especially on. In fact, it's got it on both, which gives it that kind of comic look as well, comic feel. Like I love stuff like this, posterized effects. Like I've tried to do it myself before, and it's not as easy as it looks.
Look at the Cash.
Yeah. In fact, it's very, very difficult. Some people think us artists are just using filters. This isn't filters. This is literally a digital iPad or something like that. You've got your digital pen and you are doing the artwork like off the bat. I use a mouse or a trackpad to do it when I do it, and I use Photoshop. But there's so many different ways. I do love this style because it's so clean, isn't it, Ab? It's so clean, so vibrant. You can see who it is, but it's not an exact kind of replica of the original photo they've probably took inspiration from.
Yeah, they're not trying to like make it look like a photograph, do you know what I mean? Like it does look comic booky, like you said before. This is the type of thing that I wish like the club would like adapt to and it'd be on like the magazines and the programs, stuff like this, you know, like showcasing Liverpool art. Like this is something like they're probably not listening, but if they're listening, put these things on the programs, do you know what I mean? Because I go past the matchday program and it'll be a picture that I've like seen on Twitter of like Mel or something, do you know what I mean? But I think stuff like this, like it's amazing. It makes you want to pick it up, do you know what I mean? Like I don't think I've seen these particular pieces, but I recognise the name and it's brilliant, isn't it? Like I love it. Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that about the club, wanting the club to use more things like this.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think, if you had to be honest, do you think Liverpool's social media is good enough? The marketing, the advertising, do you think it's good enough at the minute?
No, I think it's very standard. I think it's like it's satisfying in terms of like it's done the minimum of what I feel like to stay relevant and do what it needs to do. Like, you know, it does all the what it needs to do. For like content wise, I've seen them use a few artists and I feel like they kind of rotate in the same artists or rotate so much and they do stuff here and there. I feel like they need to kind of like venture a bit further out and use like these type of artists and try different things. Like Abby said, in a program, these will shine. Like I can see these being like if Liverpool wanted to do like stamps for like stuff like, you know, like little things like you know what I mean, just little like collectible items.
Even when you look at the NFT stuff that they did as well, like stuff like this would be perfect to do that.
Yeah. 100%.
Abs, you've been in. I'll drop it in there for you. Like you've been in the program before, so you've been in the match day program. Push your shoulders up. What? Here we go. This is the kind of thing that shouldn't just be like your artwork shouldn't just be in the program. Why is it not being program covers instead of just a picture of the player? Why is it not? If you look at what Barcelona do or what Man City do and other clubs, they've got like freelancers that will come in and do different graphics for main things that happen. Liverpool seem to give that freelance work to the little kind of, you've seen the Expedia match day kind of post, not the main post, but they get an Expedia one or a Standard Chartered. We need to kind of get with the times, and there's so many artists doing Liverpool stuff. It's going to be easy to pick from, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got have you seen Man United? They've got like Artwork Monday or something, or it's like one day a week, or it might be a month, and Man United will pick like the best Man United artwork. And obviously, I don't like to say anything nice about Man United, but that's like one thing that I see, and I was like, how good would it be if like Liverpool did that for us and like just like promoted the work, do you know what I mean? But Liverpool posted Emily's work, if you remember, when she did, I think it was the Harvey Elliott one they posted, or the Salah one. They posted that, and then they posted another one of Louis Diaz the other day for someone. But then, like, that's it, really. I've never seen them, like, promote anyone's work and give them credit in that way. Like, I've seen them do it for two people within the last year. But, yeah, I think even for, like, selling points, like, artwork like this on the covers, like, you'd want to pick it up. That's the thing. Like, I have seen, like, the Expedia posters, and they're great. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's brilliant, but it'd be really good if they could, like, because Liverpool is such a community. And, like, we all help each other out. It'd be so good if you seen, like, the club adapt to that and start. I'm sure they do in many ways, but it'd be really good. Like, I was made up to be in the programme or, like, the magazine. but to be able to do something like that with like your stamp on it sort of would be great as well.
How did that happen? Did they reach out to you or?
For the magazine, yeah, but I was in like, it was like Artists of Liverpool, so it was if they were like making an effort to like promote the artwork, do you know what I mean? So it was like, it was me, Emily, Claire, like all those different artists, like I think it was like October 2021 or October 2022's magazine, so if anyone ever wants to go on and have a look. But yeah, it just had all of us on like a small photo of our work, and then maybe us holding our work or whatever, and then like just a paragraph. But it was a great feeling to be in it. But when you look at artwork like this, you think like the club need to be like using this. Do you know what I mean?
Especially digital, like this is a digital era. Like there's so many digital artists now, and that's not to take anything away from the likes of you who do like the real art, the fine art, but digital art, if you're on social media, people want to see it. Like some of these accounts, they're getting more likes for the digital art than the club are getting for some things, and that's ridiculous because the club's following is massive. So we should be doing that and giving them like different options. But Latif here is saying, I enjoyed Liverpool's recent collab with Kadansha. The Minamino and Kanate video was the most creative things I've seen. Now, they've done this again because Kanate's kind of connection with Japanese art, he likes the kind of Dragon Ball Z kind of thing. It shouldn't be that a player's got to physically overexpress that they like a certain thing for it to be done. It should be getting done anyway with different things, different announcements. It's just always the same. Like, you know what's going to come if someone's being announced as a player. You know what's going to come if someone's doing a new contract. And it's just needs shaking up, doesn't it all?
Yeah, and even if you look at like Dybala, for example, the man just
that is madness.
That was crazy. Like it's just thinking outside the box, and like I don't know if it's like, I'm not saying like old school like narratives, old school like ideologies, the way people think about things, but maybe this kind of like scene, you kind of got to be like a social media content creator type thing. You've got to kind of be in with the crowd. You've got to know what's going on in TikTok, everything. Like, and I feel like it maybe that, I don't know who runs it, and I don't want to discredit them, but I feel like that's where you got to kind of get like, that's something that's always evolving. So if you're not someone who's like staying focused, like we've moved away from so much things, and like it's crazy because and it's crazy because how cheeky Liverpool could be cheeky. They could just say, "Oh, we saw your artwork. Let's have you do this. You do your artwork. Let's do that." And let's be honest, Liverpool fans are not going to say, "Okay, pay me, Liverpool." They'll be like, "Oh my god, my work's there." And then maybe you get a shirt signed or a shirt or something or a ticket for a game. It's so easy for them to just kind of like
it's a good marketing ploy if you think about it. Like you've just said, why employ a designer to constantly do the same designs when you could have it as a competition? Match day edits every week, like throw your edits in there, we'll choose one, like, and put it up as, because I don't think Liverpool fans don't go to Liverpool's website and go, do you know what, we really need to see a generic themed match day edit. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to news, when it comes to things like that, you want news, you want the updated stuff. But when it comes to something like this, be playful, like do something different, because the fans would appreciate that you're giving back to the fans in a sense. But what you're rating this anyway? Give me a rating for your El Wahid Mohammed pop art.
I'm fine between two. I'm gonna give it a 9. Because you know when art just makes you, some art just makes you happy.
Just happy. He's happy today. Abs, what would you give this? You're not allowed to say 9.9.
I always give 10s. I just don't like giving anyone less than a 10. I don't know. I think it's because I'm so, like, if I get criticised, I get, like, proper gutted. But I'll say 9 as well. There you go. I'll give a 9. Just because I haven't seen loads of the work, and this is like I recognise the name, and I probably, if I've seen it, I go, oh yeah, I've seen that. But like just from these 2 pieces, I'll say 9, just because I'd need to see more. But I give them a 10 if I'd seen more.
Of course you would. Of course you would. I like how you said the criticism of your own pieces, like you've experienced that before. Is that something that, does it still bother you to this day? Because I remember at first I used to be like, how dare they? Like this, my heart and soul has gone into this. But now I'm just like, look, you don't like it. You don't. I think it's a case of people, if you do something really good, people will come out and go, wow, that's amazing. Whereas if you do something that's not the best, there's not much criticism. It's just like, yeah, they just don't really engage. I remember doing it was a new season kit launch. So like the kit for the season after, I did something, and what I do is like I swap the heads, like head swap. So you've got, say, Mo Salah on the kit or whatever. But I took Mo Salah's head from his, you remember when he got his haircut and it was the kind of fade with the bit on top? And everyone was just like, this is so bad. They thought the club had posted it. They were like, that head swap, it just looks like you can tell it's Photoshop. And I'm like, whoa, literally, I've just done this so you can see the new kit. Like, don't shoot the messenger. But no, it's just like, are you bothered by that still?
Yeah, I think I'm still bothered by it. You know, when because you know how long you've spent on something, like, and it's harder to like edit something. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there's something that they don't like, it's like, how am I going to change this now? Do you know what I mean? Like this, what did I do once? I think I did someone's like family portrait, and I put the clothes that they had on in the pictures on them, like they sent me the pictures, and then I'd put like jeans and a black top on like the nan, and then the next thing they were like, "Oh, do you know what?" Yeah, and they were like, "Do you know what I really like is when she wears this white dress with flowers on it, but it was like a physical painting," and I'm like, "Okay, she's got like a black top and blue jeans. Like I need to work out how I'm gonna like paint over this with like white and make it look like a dress and not look like I've just painted over it." So it's like, it's not that they don't like it that bothers me, because it's not like I'm like they had the best jeans ever or something stupid like that. It's more like,
got my granny in Primark jeans.
the time that went into it is what bothers me. But at the same time, if someone doesn't like something, I'd rather they just told me. Don't be like accepting it, not liking it, and then never coming back to get anything off me again, or like saying, "Oh yeah, it was all right what we got offered." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather people were like, "Yeah, like I took the time of day to make sure they liked it," because I do want them to like it.
I suppose it's harder for you because you're physically painting something. So to change something when it's been physically painted, that's a nightmare. Whereas if it's me, it's like, yeah, I've got to take the color grading off and the levels, but I can still physically go and change it, make it look right, and then just add the colors back over the top.
Whereas you've got to, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, like, that's
you might paint something or design something, and I go, that is the best I've ever seen, and then someone comes and goes, "Oh, that's like I've seen some. Look at some of these millions, billions of pounds of designs. I'm like, that is absolutely trash to me. No disrespect. I don't like. No, let me say trash. Sorry, this culture club. I don't get the feeling from it, or I don't think it's worth a billion. But then I look at some art like this right now, and someone might go, "Oh, that's nothing." And I might say, "This to me makes me feel good." And I like the playfulness, but and you know what I mean. So it's down to, you know what I mean. But if I was Abby, have you ever like painted a family or something and like done one person at a time? Be like, is this okay? All right, I've done next person.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I like to send people like progress photos now. You know, as I'm like going along with it. So if there's anything they want to change, they can tell me sooner rather than later. Because if I just like don't speak to someone, like they order it, I go, okay, like you want this photo doing, then I go and do it and then come back and it's completely not what they wanted, then it's harder to change. But I am better off being like, is this okay? Is this okay? It's all right with the players, because if someone sends me like a picture of Klopp and they're like, paint this, like it's not really like.
The thing is, you know what Klopp looks like as well. Yeah. So even if it doesn't look like the picture, if you think it looks like Klopp, you're like, that looks like Klopp. Whereas you don't know what Jeffrey's nan looks like. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you're going off the picture. If they've sent you a picture in a favourite white flower dress, like you're meant to read people's minds. My problem is whenever I say like advertise for commission work, or when someone comes to me, it's like, right, we've been to someone else before, and if we don't like it for changes, like they charge so much per hour to make changes. But with me, I'm just like, no, it's just one set price. Like, but you get unlimited changes. Oh my, do people take liberties? Do they? It's like just stupid little things though, and you just think, come on, you taking. But the worst bit is when you make all the changes and then they go, do you know what? I like the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, that really aggravates me so much.
That's why they charge though, because
Yeah,
I feel like for you're saying you can just edit it and that's whatever, but for Abby, he's got to try and do like a title, you got to go over it and just like I'd be like, okay, all right, now you're taking the piss. I need to get a little 20% or a little £20 changing fee or fresh.
For
So
the
I
hour,
don't know.
yeah, it's time, innit? It's time, and that's what you need. You need paying for your time at the end of the day. But you give it a 9.5. I think
9, I went for.
I'm gonna give this an 8.5. I really like it.
All right, Simon,
But
count.
have a minute. But all I'm saying is I love it. I think it's great artwork, fantastically done, perfect for what it should be. But I've seen a lot of this style kind of online and floating around. So it's a popular style. Whereas sometimes I like to see something brand new where it's like, whoa, I've never seen that before. I think that's where you're coming from. Oh, well, you like this, so you'd pay big money for something like this. But I think people pay big money sometimes for something that nobody else does, for example. So it's like no one's doing this, so I'm paying for the kind of rare kind of yeah. So let's move on anyway. Let's go to someone who's featured on the show before, because Abs is the only person that gets away with doing things like this by featuring someone that's featured before. But it's a good, worthy cause, because we've got John Charles back with his kind of tribute to women. I don't know. You tell us about it, Abs, because I saw it online. I've been following the progress. I knew the exhibition was coming, but tell us a little bit about what John Charles has done and where the exhibition is. Things like that.
Well, I went to his exhibition in, like, do you know the Baltic Market area in the Baltic Hotel? He did all this exhibition himself. Like, he hung every piece himself in there. Like, him and his wife set it all up, which I think is amazing in itself, because any time I've set up an exhibition, it takes so long. And it's literally like highlighting women's bodies and like confidence. Every single painting in there, they were different in their own ways. Do you know what I mean? It was like every size, like it just made you feel more comfortable about yourself. And I think he invited all the women that he painted to the exhibition as well. Like, you could see the women who were like posing next to a certain photo, like you knew it was theirs. Do you know what I mean? They'd be like, "Oh yeah, take a picture of me next to me." But like, he done that good of a job that like they were made up, you know, to like see their artwork. Like, he'd done like a really good effort of it, and he was like taking pictures with everyone. But just because I went, I like fell in love with all the art when I was walking around, and because I've seen that in person, I felt like that was like the artwork that I should bring on today, you know, because I know I've already had John's work on before, but because that's the first time I've ever got to physically. Well, actually, do you know what? He's got a painting in the Chinese restaurant Maggie Fu in town.
Oh,
and so I have seen one of his work physically, just because I seen it in Maggie Fu. But this was like my first time going to like his exhibition and being able to like stand in front of the work and scan the barcodes he had at the bottom and read about each individual piece and woman or whatever was in the description. They were all different. But yeah, so I just felt like it was worthy to talk about.
And this is why we let you have it on today, because it's local as well. It's Liverpool. This is the culture. It's empowerment. Like, we look at what's happened at the Euros, like women in sport. And I know this isn't particularly sport, but just empowering women in general. This is like a big thing at the minute, isn't it, Owen? To do something like this as a male as well, it says a lot, doesn't it? Like, you might expect this from a female artist, but from a male artist to do this, who's well known, it's a really powerful statement, isn't it?
Yeah, I think even to the way he's like promoted it and pushed it, like you can see it's like it's not like, oh, I've just done this because right now it's the right time. Nothing. He's pushed it. He's put a lot of work into, a lot of graft into it. And he's been building up. You've seen a little, like I've seen some of the images, and he's going on with it and he's doing it. And I just love that. You see the one you got right there, the exhibition with the, I won't swear, but I just loved that one. That one was like my favorite one of all of them. And then I just feel like it's just amazing, man. Any person that can sit here and is making an impact. Because remember, he's not a woman, so it's sometimes the battle and stuff like that is you don't understand the battle, but if anyone is trying to help and contribute, bring awareness, like it's amazing.
Abs, were these for sale? And is there a place people can still buy some? Also, did he do these did they send photos in, or did he do it as like live, have a live model in there and he painted them whilst they were in the room?
I think it was a mix between the both, because when he was doing like the paintings, I'm sure they might have been photographs because he posted like a progress video, of him in the studio painting it. But because I've always done life drawing at uni, I assumed the whole time that they were life drawing. But when I went on his Instagram the other day and I seen that he like did like a progress video drawing once, so I sort of think they might be photographs now, but I always assumed that they were life drawing. But well, it is still life drawing through a photo, but you know what I mean? It weren't like live. But yeah, another thing I wanted to say is like he must be doing like his wife and daughter so proud because he had his little girl there and she was selling her own jewellery that she'd made, all handmade, and they both look like so proud of him, do you know what I mean? And like imagine having like your dad like who's promoting like women body positivity and stuff like that. Like that is something to be so proud of. Like it's so progressive as well, do you know what I mean? Like you'd know that you were like in like safe hands. Like he really does care about like women, do you know what I mean? And all that sort of thing, like to promote it and to put it in his art. And he could have done an exhibition on all of his Liverpool stuff, all of his City stuff, all of his like live bird paintings and stuff. He could have done an exhibition like that, but he never. He chose to do one about this and to like host it himself and pay to set it all up himself and create it. And I just think that's great.
It's so refreshing. It is like we talk about like stereotyping and things like that. Like he's a big man full of tattoos, and to do this, it makes it more special to me because people might look at him and think, oh, he would never do something like that. Do you know what I mean? But then to come out and do this, it's just amazing. And this is why it's on the show twice now. John, twice you've been on the show. Keep going because you might have a hat trick. We're going to have to bring a hat trick ball like they do on Soccer AM and then John Charles here. Maybe we get John on. Maybe we get John on 1 week to come on and discuss maybe his inspiration behind doing this. Is it something that he's experienced or his partner's experienced and it made him like inspired to do it? That'd be interesting to see. So, John, if you watch this back, we'd love to have you on 1 week, but we will get in touch with you anyway after the show. But the important thing is, what are you going to rate this piece?
When you put everything in context, it's a 10 for me.
Abs, we know what Abs is going. I don't even know why we're going to Abs on this.
I was like, you can say 10 now.
Yeah, there should always just be a 10 in front of me, and then that's it. You don't ask me.
You know what we need? Paddles. I'm going to get paddles. I'm going to design paddles, and we can hold them up like we're on Strictly Come Dancing or something.
Don't even need to send me the other ones. I just need a 10. That's all I need is a 10. I'll just keep holding the 10 up.
Just keep doing that. Do you know what? This is an 11 for me, just for the quality of it as well. Yeah. So many pieces, and they weren't done it was quite a short space of time. It wasn't like it's taken years. And do you know what I mean? Like artists, sometimes they spend years on something. For it to be this quality, to have this meaning behind it, it's got to be like this is extra 10. This is above 10. This is 100%. Just amazing to have a physical exhibition as well, not just post them online.
History,
not just sell them as prints. This is historical. I love this. But we've got people in the show. Look at this one. Oh, speaking of positivity, all with glasses looks like Idris Elba in one move.
Thank you very much. I'm trying to be the next Bond.
Can you do the Idris Elba voice?
I actually can't. I'm terrible with accents. Voices. Accents.
You know what? All says different. Off camera, he gives it the big I am that he can do different accents.
Remember our American?
It comes on.
Our American, I'm not as good as I am.
After that one, never. All did an American accent once, Abs, and it was like Kim Kardashian. It was just terrible.
Because the team I was talking to at the time, like I'm very you speak, then I'll speak. So they have that type of accent. So it was like women that were talking at the time. So I was just trying to mimic.
Do you want to have a go now?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Hell to the no. But Bogdan's in the building. Abby, Ash. Bogdan, I want to know which one of us is your favourite, because you were an old bot to begin with. You've always supported everything I do, but I know how much you love Abigail. So I want to know who's your favourite right now, Bogdan. No escaping that. Whilst I pull up my commission, what did I not do? Did I do this at the beginning?
Yeah.
Did I do it?
Yeah.
I think you did, yeah.
We'll do it again.
Do it
Commission
again,
that.
in between each
Right,
one.
it's my turn. Let's go. Where am I?
Oh, you did see 11, innit?
Look at these. This is where it's at. John Sheehan. And we've gone with women in sport because I feel like the theme today is about women empowerment. So we've gone with women in sport. So ignore the United vibes. Just ignore that. We don't need to look
it's right there in my face.
Ignore that. But this, for me, I love this. This is probably my favorite type of artwork because it's so raw. But then I love doodles. I love doodling. Like when I was in school, I used to try and do something that was fine art on paper, but then doodle around it. And I love things like that. It's kind of got the real element to it. So it's a real photo made to look like I really love playful things like this, but it celebrates different things. So you've got words in there that mean different things. Euros 2020, superstar. Then we've got Katie Taylor, like the green to symbolize islands, but it's popping. This is my kind of vibe. I don't know what you feel about it.
Yeah, no, I like it. For me, why you look?
I feel a book coming. Do you feel a book coming out here?
No, I mean like me. I'm a big kid, so I'm colors, bright, vibrant. So but I really do like it. It like you can see the creative genius in the designs. I do like the colors, especially with Katie. I'm a fan. United one. I'm gonna allow John because.
Tooney! It's Tooney! European Championship winner, Tooney. We've got to get behind Tooney.
I hear you. For some reason, it's crazy. All I picture is Michael Owen for some reason, like in a United shirt. I don't know why. I apologize. I don't know why. So, but
don't say his name every day.
But I do like that design, though. I do like the designs. I'm not even discrediting it. I do like the design. For me, it's just like I'm a big child, like colors, and I get distracted, and I'm very playful. Yeah. So, but there is a good design. I've seen something similar on BT Sports with that 2D one. To be fair, so I really enjoyed it.
Abs saying he likes bright colors, but that's illuminous green. Like you can't get any brighter or bolder than that. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know what he's on about. But I love this because it's like it looks like you've physically done a real life painting with the paint drips, with the scribble marks. That's why I love it, because it brings that real element. Like we looked at last week, or the week before, whatever it was, when we looked at Harry G. Ward's paintings / digital art / whatever it was. This has got that element to it as well, where it's like they've done the digital side, but then they've pulled it out of the digital setting, and it's like they splashed a bit of paint over it, or they've gone over the top. You want to get into digital art a little bit more, don't you? It's so difficult, though, isn't it? It's so difficult.
I need to learn, to be honest. Like, I've got the equipment, but I find it difficult to do. And, like, I don't know what it is. I like putting my apron on, getting me paints out, mixing me paints. I like checking the colours of me paints, making sure everything's right. Like, I quite enjoy that part of it. And I know it's work to sit there for like an hour before I even get to start anything and be trying to like colour match and stuff, but stuff like that I really like. But I do like really appreciate this type of work. Like this one, the green one, it looks like a template for like a mural, like we have in town. It looks like this could be a painting on the wall in town. And like for a second, if you like put a wall behind it, you'd think it was like painted. Do you know what I mean? I can't point. This other one, I do like it. I really do like it. But like, I sort of like the drawing-y looking side of things, whereas in the middle, she looks more like a photo. Yeah. So I think I do appreciate this one a little bit more, but that's just from my own artistic mind.
I think that one is very much like, It's marketing, isn't it? It's very much
Yeah.
a poster. You can tell it's been used on some kind of campaign or advertisement. Like Cole said, it's been used for BT Sport. You can tell that that's what it's there for, and that's what John Sheehan does so well, working with so many massive kind of outlets. I love the kind of raw feel, though, because we don't see this. Like we say, we don't see this from Liverpool. It's something a bit different, but it still kind of caters for that need of, you know what it is. It's marketed. It's got a purpose and things like that. So I really like this, but I'm scared to do the scores now on this one. Don't worry, John. I've got you back on this one. But before we do that, I've got to take the W from Bogdan.
What?
Bogdan.
Bogdan, you're being unfollowed right now.
Bogdan, I love you, bro. To the camera, Bogdan, you're number one. Remember that, Bogdan. Love it. Number one. I like this. So, let's go around. Let's rate this piece. Be fair, be brutal, be honest. It's fine.
I'm dancing between a 8 and an 8 point. I'm gonna leave it as an 8.
8. I think what he really wanted to say is dancing between a 7.5 and an 8, but he was being kind.
I was gonna say 8 or 8.5, but I'm gonna give it an 8.
Abs.
I was gonna do 8.5, but I feel like because I've seen a Man United shirt, I have to give 8.
Oh, that's from Abs. That's
from me,
brutal.
the Man United shirt hurts me.
That's like me giving a 4. You know, that is that is brutal from Abs. Do you know what? I'm being honest. I'm being with you. 8.5 for me. It's like I said before with the other one. It's not something that we haven't seen before, but I just love the execution of it again.
Yeah.
Nobody does this kind of look as good as John does, and that's why I'm putting it up there with 8.5. I just love it. It's digital art for me. It's creative content. I love it. So that's it for this week on Not the Whole Show. Don't worry, because we've got a big part coming next. But that is it this week for Commission That. Boom, boom, boom. Look at you guys. We're back in the building. So this is Culture Club. No, we do commission that. Anyone you've just seen, anybody's artwork that you've just seen, it will be in the description, the links. We'll post it up on Twitter. We've got an Instagram page, a Twitter page, TikTok page coming soon for Culture Club. So please get over there, follow Culture Club, because you'll see all this artwork on there with tags. You'll see it underneath the description to this video. Please comment which one you like. Hit the like button as well when you see the artwork that you like, because the likes really help us grow with this channel. But we need to move on to the more serious part of the show. We're talking about what makes Liverpool Football Club Liverpool. What makes Liverpool Liverpool? And I want to touch on this week. The description for this show is LFC fan loyalty plays into FSG's hands. Now, I know that's a serious kind of statement, but what I want to touch on is Liverpool is a city, Abs, that we know is so loyal. It's loyal to everyone. It's so proud of everything that comes out of the city. Look at the Beatles. We're looking at modern day now. We're looking at KJT, who's been in the World Championships, Commonwealth Games. We're behind her. You mentioned before, Paddy the Baddie, Meatball Molly. We're taking followings everywhere. The Smith brothers in boxing. Liverpool do it best. They are so supportive of everyone and anything that comes out of the city. But I feel like it plays into the hands of FSG when it comes to Liverpool, because no matter what happens, we're always going to stay loyal and back the people in power. It took Gillette and Hicks for us to really get our back up, and they were disgraceful. So do you think we're too loyal, or do you think the loyalty is like a good thing?
I mean, if they go too far, you can see how angry we can get. Like when you look at the Super League, that was when we all started to go, no, you don't. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it gets to a point at the minute where it's like, we're doing well, we're competing for the top of the league. Like, like a lot of people who support other clubs, like an Everton or a Man United right now, are probably thinking, like, what do you have to moan about? Do you know what I mean? But then at the same time, if they do something wrong, like the Super League, or like go into I don't know, remember people were saying that they might be doing like NFTs as our sponsor, but then we didn't end up going down it. We signed with Standard Chartered. There was a bit of like people saying no, don't, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I think it depends the decisions that they make, but I do get that when you think about like all the athletes and all the musicians, like we will back them to the end, but then FSG aren't Scouse, they're American, so at the same time I think we will criticise them. I think it's like loads of people say like, oh, Curtis Jones is because he's Scouse, he gets like treated like nicer when he has a bad performance, things like that. But I don't believe that. I think we are very honest as people. I don't believe it. But like people do say it, I do get your point. But I don't think FSG get away with things, but at the same time, it's like there's worse situations we could be in right now. But when they make a mistake, we do tell them they're making a mistake, because we're not doing like a Gillette and Hicks again or anything like that, or you're not taking our club off us, like ticket prices and everything like that. Like we just won't have it. Do you know? So it's a bit of like loyalty, but then at the same time, it's like we also stand up for things. Do you know what I mean? So we'll stand up against a lot of things as well. So don't cross us as a threat. It's
don't
like,
cross us.
No, it's just like if you make a big mistake, we're gonna pull you up on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get everything that you're saying there, Abs, and there's a few points I want to touch on. The first one, with Curtis Jones. I think Scousers who play for Liverpool have a harder deal. I feel like they're scrutinised a bit more, especially from outside the club. I think from inside the club, you're always hoping they're going to be the next Stevie G, or they're going to be the next Robbie Fowler, or do you know what I mean? Like, you want that to happen. So there's a pressure and a weight that's on the shoulders of someone who's Scouse coming into the team. Whereas I don't think there's that kind of pressure from like a Mancunian who's playing for Man City or Man United, or a Geordie who's playing for Newcastle. I think they've got a little bit more, I don't know, less pressure on the back, let's say. But then we go to the other hand, and Abs is saying we don't want to seem like we're being ungrateful because we're finishing second every season. That's where my problem is. We're finishing second, so what are we doing to try and bridge that gap to Man City now? We've let Sadio Mane go, and the main reason I've done this is because when you look at our depth now, we're injured. 3 players in midfield are injured right now, and they could be out for a period of time. This should be the time when we're second in the league that FSG go, do you know what, Klopp, what do you need? We'll go out and get it, because we're never going to find a better time to capitalise on Man City letting go of some of their key players, not having as deep a squad as they usually have. We could take advantage of this. So do you think it's FSG? Do you think it's Klopp? And do you think because we're so loyal, we don't challenge these decisions enough to try and stir a bit of change?
So I think it's a bit of everything. I think FSG are definitely could pull their socks up a bit. If you remember, there was a big debate of FSG in, FSG out. So it's not like we hide from these type of, as fans, we hide from these type of conversations. There was a lot of our fan base was literally at war. If they were in or out of FSG. So I do think, it's. But then I feel like regardless, when the season starts, we're back to whatever team we go again, kind of thing. So that's kind of where you kind of have to, don't it? Like, what can you do? You can't take money out of FSG's pockets, or you can only expect more. But we should be expecting more. We should be looking to win it, especially after last season. We should be thinking, okay, what do we do next? We signed Nunes. We obviously, I did hear that we did inquire about Jude, but Jude was they're never going to let go of Haaland and Jude in the same transfer window. So we go look for someone else. But I feel like Klopp accepted this when he signed a new contract. Like, nothing's changed. So
it's a good point that's why I'm confused. Is it Klopp? Is Klopp happy with the squad? Is he not? Abs, do you think when you look at Liverpool, the history of Liverpool, we get behind our managers more often than not, more than we get behind our players? When you look at this squad now, like Cole said, going into the season, we are so loyal that we're going to back the team that we've got, no matter who goes on that field. Like if Oxlade-Chamberlain gets back fit, goes on the field, even if we don't agree that he should be on there, we're going to back him. We're going to support him because he's wearing a Liverpool shirt. Do we need to vocalize more that we need an extra player? We need this, we need that before the season begins, because we seem to have been happy that Mo signed a new contract, so we're not that bothered now. It's all been like a kind of an illusion. You want Jude Bellingham, but should we be going on social media and going, get Jude Bellingham right now, strike while the iron is hot?
I honestly, like, this is going to sound bad. I don't think FSG care what we want in this situation. I'm sure they like care about the fans and all that. Like when I worked in the club shop, like I remember John Henry coming in and being like, "Hello, like my staff," or someone was like speaking to us all. But like at the end of the day, it's his business, it's his money. Like I know I don't like to think of the club as a business, like it does hurt me heart a bit, like, but it is a business. And like he's got so many like professionals who he like thinks know what who he thinks like will know what the right decision to make is. He's not gonna look on Twitter and go, Abigail from Aintree has just said that we need Jude Bellingham, or like someone's just put a poll on and it's got 100% votes that we need a midfielder. So do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and get like. I honestly think that we like overestimate the amount of attention that they like give to us. Like they're not gonna be acknowledging what we're saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like as much as I'd love them to be like when the Super League happened and he was like, I've heard like what you have said, but it took like so much anger for them to be like, whoa, we've like overstepped the mark here. But if there's like a couple of people on Twitter saying like, oh, we need a midfielder, and there's already people that do that now, you know, when you go under our tweet, some people can be dead disrespectful about it as well. It could be like a tweet about something serious. People will literally comment under it like, sign a midfielder, announce Salah's contract, like they were doing, do you know what I mean? People do it, but they're not, I honestly, they're not looking, I don't think.
I think Abs is doing herself a discredit here, or she's the influencer that we need to get out there, get your followers behind this initiative. No, but I agree with what you're saying. Like, why would FSG go, oh, look at that person saying this? Like, they're not interested. It's their money at the end of the day. But what I do feel is, if the full fan base say it, if we've got those that are representing us that are going on Sky Sports, going on TalkSport, going on BBC, ITV, whatever, if that side of our fan base that represent, if they're a voice for us that represents us, if they go on and say, look, Liverpool fans right now, they're happy with where they're at, but they want to see a midfielder. They want more backing while we're at the top, because then we can push. Then we can say, if we don't win, do you know what? Man City were the better team.
Yeah.
But if they don't say anything, FSG are going to go, well, there's not a big push for it. No one's saying anything. If they do say anything, then FSG are going to not have to listen, but everyone's going to say, right, Liverpool fans wanted this. So if it doesn't happen and then we finish second again, or if we don't get those major trophies again, the only people to point the finger at are FSG, because they've not made those moves and people have been talking about it. Do you get where I'm coming from in that sense? No.
So that last slide one more time. Let me let it register again.
Right. So if we've got social media influencers, whoever's representing us on Sky Sports, or for example, it might be AJT, it could be Harriet Pryor if she's going on Sky Sports. If they go on and say, as a fan base, there's a lot of noise now that we want a midfielder, we want to pack our squad out, that FSG need to back Klopp, we need to get someone. If it gets to the end of the season and FSG ignore that, and we don't sign anyone, everyone can go back then and go, well, the fan base said this, you didn't do it, and you've just finished in the same position you did last time again. You've not got a major trophy again. Do FSG then have to pull their finger out and go, people are going to start questioning what we're doing? Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you don't need a fan base or a representative to tell you what Liverpool need right now. I feel like they know, they would have identified it, and they have identified it because, you know, one thing that Fabio said was, we asked about the availability of Jude, so therefore you know who you want in the midfielder. He's the type of midfielder you want. The thing about Klopp and Liverpool, I feel like they're happy. They go hand in hand, is Klopp's happy to work with what he has. You give him what he's that type of manager, in it. Whereas like look at Conte when he first tried to go to specific teams, when he was like, if you're not giving me the budget, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what they do. Klopp's happy to build players and show you that he can build with what he has. Klopp likes to do that. That's his manager style. I don't feel you need a representation, but a representative. But if you do, it would be better. But it would just be the same thing. I told you so. Okay, we didn't sign nobody. I feel like we will try to bring a midfielder in next season. I don't think we'll bring another midfielder this season. And I feel like they've identified it. You don't need to.
Yeah, I feel like though, if we go to online, say if you went to a Sky Sports now and they were kind of reviewing Liverpool's summer, Sky Sports would say Liverpool have had a good summer. They would say like, oh, Liverpool fans are happy with the summer. They've got Núñez in, but Sadio Mane's gone out. They've got Núñez in. Carvalho's had a great pre-season, so they're going into this season optimistic. I feel like that's the consensus from
some are though. Some are.
Yeah, some fans are.
I've been absolutely attacked with, oh my god, but we signed Núñez. I'm like, oh my god, but our midfield is still the same.
That's it. Some people do, and I agree with you. Some people feel that way, but I feel like the general majority of people, if you ask them, they'd get a midfielder now. I feel like they would. 100%. But we all of us, we'll back the team going into the new season no matter what. But I feel like as a fan base, we would want more. If we had to sum up this transfer window, I don't think we'd give it the props that everybody else is giving it from the outside perspective. That's why I'm saying, do we need a voice? And I'm not saying these have to represent everybody, but none of them are saying it. Everybody's going in going, Darwin Núñez is going to score like 50 goals for us. Or Carvalho, oh, he looks like that new Coutinho player. They're not painting an accurate representation when they're going on these outlets for the fan base. They need to go, do you know what? Yeah, we've signed this player, but we got rid of Sadio Mane. Núñez, if you go like for like, isn't as good as Sadio Mane right now. So that's a drop in class. If you look at Carvalho coming in, youngster, is he going to add anything? We've let Nico go, Conor Bradley go, brought Ramsey in. Is that an upgrade or a downgrade? That's all we've done. So if you look at the squad, we're the same as last season when Man City brought Phillips in, Haaland in. Yes, they've got rid of Sterling, but I'd say they've improved the quality that they've got. So really, we're starting on a lower level than we started last season with, and we only come second. So that's why I want this representation, because then, Abs, we can come out at the end of the season and go, we said, just get a midfielder. And even if they don't do it this summer, then we force them to do something a bit bigger next summer when we come out of this season with no major trophy. That's my biggest fear. Having no major trophies, having Klopp for this amount of time, and being a team that got 90 points but no trophies. I don't care about the points really.
We do have spirit of Shankly, but I don't think they'd take the stance of sign this player because they've got such a good partnership with the club. By like I think my dad emailed them saying I've been on the season ticket list this long, it makes no sense, and they were like, we're looking into it. They look into anything really, but I don't. Do you know what I mean? They're meant to be the voice and they do amazing work.
Do enough then, Abs? Do you think they do enough at Liverpool Football Club? I know I don't want you to get chastised, but if we look at it, what substance is actually happening? Maybe they're getting pictures on shirts or whatever, but we need, what substance is going on, do you think?
I think we need keep spirit of Shankly, but we need something to do with having more fans involved with maybe the signings. But I just don't think they're not gonna look at us as professional people who have a clue of we're people who love the game and love the sport and want our team to do well. Of course we do. Do you know what I mean? But they're if you listen to even the way Klopp talks, everything's so mathematical, and the way they look at when we'll sign these players, why we'll sign these players, how they'll fit in, and as a business as well. I can't blame Spirit of Shankly for that, because if they don't want to listen to someone like that, they won't. Do you know what I mean?
That's why they put I think that's why
It's
they're very
more.
selective with the supporters clubs, because they know who's going to bite back and who's just going to go, no, I understand that. I think it's a balance, isn't it?
When we've put like banners outside Anfield and we've like marched or we've walked out and stuff like that, we get listened to. But I just don't think that like someone sat on like Sky News saying like, yeah, we need a midfielder, is going to make them change their mind. Like
No, it's not. That's what I don't think it'll make them change their mind. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it will make them change their mind up, but it lets everybody else know, opposition fans, it lets our fans of the club know what the majority of Liverpool fans are saying. I'm not saying we should have someone on the board who goes, we need to go and sign. So they're never going to listen to that, because we're not paid as scouts. We're not paid as like Julian Ward. We're not managing directors. We're not chief execs. We're not that. But we are a voice that says we are failing every season because of the depth of the club. That's as simple as it is. Man City's depth is better.
Would you say
we're not failing, but we're not.
Every season?
Well, if you look at it from a definition standpoint, yeah, we probably are failing because we're not winning. Do you know what I mean? If you're not the winner, if you're not the winner, though, you are the first loser. Do you know what I mean?
We've won
trophies. Yes, we got the FA Cup.
Won everything. You know,
he's won everything.
In a small space of time. It's not like, but you need to remember that, like, when you think of last season where we nearly won everything, that does not happen. To go on a run like that, that's like not ordinary. That was like out of the ordinary. Like, just because Liverpool and City have gone on these like mad runs against each other for years and years, and I hope it carries on. I mean, I hope they drop off a bit, but you know what I mean. Like, it's exciting, but it's not. We're not failing, or like it's not like Klopp's not doing it. I think Klopp's doing everything he can. I don't think it's Klopp that makes the decisions of the signings. I don't.
Yeah, I want to hear what O's going to say.
Do you think we've progressed since, like, not since Klopp era? Do you think we've progressed? So, you know, we always finish in second. Forget that.
We've not progressed since 18-19. We've not progressed.
Do you think we've progressed? Yeah, that's my question. Because let's change the narrative. Do you think we've progressed?
So you think we progressed after 18-19, or we're still at 18-19 standard?
No, do you think from then we've gone to the next level, or we've stayed consistent, or anything other than consistently coming seconds? Do you think there's any progression other than, like, because what have we?
90+ points every season consistently is not failing.
Yeah, no.
That's why I changed it from failing to progression, because 96 points, 90+ points. When we look at this in 10 years, isn't going to mean nothing.
What is there to progress past, though? 100 points.
Trophies.
Like, City have only ever done that once.
In my eyes, personally, progression would be 2 of 1 again, like a league or a Champions League or something again. So that's how I think about progress. Instead of, I don't think we failed, because I think about the money, what you think that City's done, and who we're going up against.
Do you know what? Can I just say, we would be having a completely different conversation if City didn't have that last 20 minutes of that game against Villa.
But at the end of the day, they did have it, though, didn't they? Do you know what I mean?
Well, even with the Champions League game, like, I thought we were going to win that, but like everything that was going on outside the stadium affected it, and we'd be having a completely different conversation now. But I still think that we were strong enough to win that. Do you know what I mean? I know we didn't, but
that's the point.
It was like the talent
because we didn't get over. If we look back at 13-14, it's like saying if Stevie G didn't slip, we'd say that was a successful year, but it wasn't a successful year because he slipped. That's where we're at. But if you look back now, I'll give you this question, Ab. Say if we don't win, or say if we got 1 more Champions League and 2 FA Cups in Klopp's next 4 years, would you then, when Klopp leaves in 5, 6, 7, however many years' time, look back at this period of the last 6, 7 years and say it was a success or a failure if we don't go and get like 2, 3 major trophies in the next 4 years?
Okay, right. Go back 7 years ago.
I know this.
Can you remember like the misery? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the thing for me, is I think
that's why I'm so passionate now. I know the pain.
So just Klopp's era then. Just Klopp's era.
I know, but I think we've got to a point now where like we turn our noses up at another European Cup, whereas like before.
No, we're saying that's
Klopp,
a major
it was
trophy.
like
European Cup to me
2005.
is
Do you
like
know what I
that's
mean?
the
It was things
pinnacle.
of dreams. Do you know what I mean? And to
Yeah.
say if we get one more and 2 FA Cups, and we're like, oh yeah, he was
But we're
all
saying
right,
it
that
because
Klopp, but he's
but
not.
Abs,
You know
look
what I
at this.
mean?
Look at this, right? This is the most successful we'll probably ever be in the next 30 years, right? So look at the most successful times.
Possibly.
I think so, because I don't think anyone's coming in and doing what Klopp has done with the backing that Klopp has had.
I mean, but we might have new owners, and we might actually start.
If we have new owners,
like that's what I think. FSG is eventually going to be like, you know what, I give up. I think.
Yeah, they are going to. But then when we look back, right, on legendary kind of periods, United, 08, 09, that era. Look at Chelsea in like the late like noughties. Look at Arsenal and the Invincibles and things like that. Their trophies, they suggest
they didn't have City though. They
exactly,
didn't have
but
this Man
we've
City
got to.
side.
But we pushed. Arsenal had to compete against United. Yeah, the points weren't as high, but the level was still there. That competition that we've got with City was still there. But United came out on top of their competition. Chelsea came out on top of whoever was challenging them at the time. Man City are going to be known as the best team in this period, and Liverpool are still going to have, we were the best in the 80s. We're not going to have that. Liverpool were the best in this period. That's why if we go and win now in the next 3-4 years, major trophies, everyone will say Liverpool were more successful than Man City because Pep didn't get the Champions League. Whereas we've got to pack our trophy cabinet now. I'm not being ungrateful because we've done so much, but I want to be known as the best team of this era when we're the best we'll ever be.
I still think we win the league this season anyway. So
I think we might.
Even if we don't sign anyone, I still think we win the league this season. Honestly, like last season, the way it ended, like you can't underestimate like the power of like emotion as well. Like they don't want to feel that again. Do you know what I mean? I think we win it. I think we win the league this season anyway.
I want to pin some. Let me put some comments up because there's some good comments coming in.
I agree. Let me just say one thing.
Go on.
The only thing I say is I don't feel like we would have had a failure like run. Considering if you look back at like Abby said 7 years ago, but I would have felt like we failed. We didn't take advantage and we failed Klopp. We didn't take advantage of having a manager like Klopp with trusting him with more funds or giving him what he wants. That's how I see it more than I see it as.
I don't think you can like progress past where we are now. Like us and City, we're in like the perfect position, and like there's not much to progress past. It's just like trying to stay consistent and just.
Liverpool is
more trophies would be progression.
More trophies, but it's those moments when it matters. If we look at the finals this season, we just didn't do enough to win them. It's not that it just was against us on our day. You might say with Real Madrid it was, but we didn't do enough in the games to win it. When we had the chances, we were the best team in both games. We should have got those matches over the line, and I think that's where a bit of quality and depth comes in. Not having to bring swap Thiago for Naby Keita, that doesn't make any sense. Not having to taking Sadio Mane off. No, in fact, who did we take off? Was it Firmino and bring Jota on? Like, there's not big changes in impact players. Whereas now, if we got a few midfielders and we could bring impact players on to change the game, I think that's what we're looking for, something different that we can offer this season. But Ish is saying, I wouldn't say that we're failing, Ash. I agree. We're not failing. We're not failing, but it'll be seen as a failure if we don't get more trophies. 100% it'll be seen as a failure. We've got Realism, Jared saying, it's not about the points, it's about how many trophies you win against your opposition that did win it. This is what we're saying. This era now, Man City, I wouldn't say Man City look like a better team. I wouldn't say they are a better team than Liverpool, but they'll go down in history as a better team just because they've got more Premier Leagues, and that's it. Yeah, we've got a Champions League, we've got one Premier League, but to go 3 times back to back in the Premier League, we talk about the League One being the Farmers League with PSG winning every season. I don't want the Premier League to get like that, Abs, where Man City start winning it every season, no matter what.
think the perfect
No, of
example
course
is
not.
Kane. Sorry, no, go on.
I didn't know what you said. What did you say? Go on now.
Oh no, I was saying the perfect example is like Kane. When he hands up his boots, say he hands up his boots, he loses, his career is done. He got done as a very good forward, but he's got no trophies and he's got a couple golden boots. Would he prefer to swap his golden boots for some trophies? Yeah, I personally feel like failure is the wrong word, but when you think about how close we come and we ain't clinched more titles, it's gonna look back and I'm gonna say I think we failed Klopp not investing in Klopp. But
it is fine margins though. Like it is fine margins that we've actually missed out on these things from. But you know what the thing is? Everyone knows how good we are. But I do get what you mean because in the future, like with football banter and everything, people will literally just act like, oh, well, were you really that good because, you know, you missed out. I do get what you're saying. But us as fans, like as Liverpool fans, we know how good we are. And we like know what we've built at the minute. And I do know that we do need investment in the midfield at the minute. But I still think we can go on and do it without it. To be honest, like
I
I
do.
don't know why I feel so confident this season, but I do. I felt that last season as well.
I think we can. We'll go into every season with hope now, but if we don't win, that argument's going to come up again. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, we didn't sign a midfielder, we didn't have the depth. Whereas if we did win, next summer we're probably not going to buy anyone because FSG are going to go, well, you won it with this squad, so go and win it again. That's what always happens. Whereas if we say no, like we still need players, we still need them. At least at the end of the season, we can say we told you so at the beginning of the season. I'm not saying we're going to fail. Fingers crossed, we come out with a quadruple. We come out with 2 trophies. We can do it with the squad we've got. We can do it, but I don't think injury-wise, we get so many injuries in midfield. I don't think we'll have the depth when it gets to that stage of the season. I think the World Cup's going to help us, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Jared's saying
in January, if they
Jared's saying here, and this is a great point. So you're saying that Liverpool should be happy with one Premier League maybe every 10 years. Now, if you look at it, the odds are that it's higher than every 10 years. If we win another now, we can start saying, okay, it's every 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, which is a lot better.
Rubbish,
I don't want to go another 10 years. I don't want to have to win the league because somebody else underperforms, which a lot of teams have had to say. I want to go out there now and if we beat the best team that the Premier League has ever seen, because Man City are that team, they're the best team the Premier League's ever seen. Maybe this Liverpool team is, but if we go out and beat them and win 2 more Premier Leagues in the next 4 years, we will be the best team the Premier League's ever seen because we've got a Champions League to count for it as well, I think. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah. I still think City are in for a shout at getting a Champions League though, and that's when it sort of like goes all out the window, especially with signing Haaland. I feel like they might. I say it every year. I'm always like, maybe they'll put all their eggs in one basket for the Champions League, and they'll just go for that. And then, but it never happens. Like both teams have shown that they're capable to try and go all the way in both competitions.
It's crazy what they're doing. Like I'm so grateful for this Liverpool squad, but I just want to see the success because I feel like if we don't see it now, when are we going to see it again? That's all it is. It's not being selfish or other clubs like Chelsea might be going, look what you've got, like be grateful. No, because your aspiration this season, Chelsea, is probably top 4. Our aspiration is to win the league and to come second by 1 point every time. To me, that's worse than when you're going for top 4, finishing 5th. Do you know what I mean? Finishing second, 1 point. Oh, that kills. Jared again is saying, emotion is what gets our team nowhere. We play the occasion, not the game. That's on Klopp and the players. It's a 50-50 one, this, in my opinion, but Liverpool do. Klopp very much does rely on emotion, doesn't he? I think he does from the fans, but we do set up so well to go out and win games.
Yeah, and emotions, like look at the Arsenal game, look at the Chelsea game, anything, we use our emotions to, you know what I mean? It's one of the best things about the club, and that's why Klopp is perfect for us and our fans. Our fans are emotional, and you know what I mean. Like so, it's all part of the journey in the roller coaster, and we love it. We live for it. So
life is a roller coaster, just gotta ride
yeah,
it.
100%, man. Like, so I disagree. Emotion gets our team over. I think emotion is one of the things that Klopp loves about his press. Look at his press. His press is all about getting the emotion speed on. You have to be like a certain type of person to be in that Liverpool group. You have to be mad if you're not starting, or he's happy for you to be angry with him if you've been benched. And come on.
I completely agree. Let's move on then to the last part of the show quickly, where we just rate a little bit of fashion. There's one thing to rate on this show. We've had a big discussion, great debate. I love that Abs did not back down once as well. I'm good
I know,
for
I've still
next
got
time.
more in my head now. I'll bring it all up on the weekly drip.
Exactly, let's bring it up on the weekly drip. 100%. But let's bring this last bit to the show, and this bit is called the bloop, bloop, bloop. Can you hear that? The drip meter. So this week, quickly, we're going to run through. There's 3 players, and it's all about the ripped jeans this week. The ripped jeans look. I want you to rate these ripped jeans look all from.
If it's me, we are fighting. No, I'm only joking.
It's not you. It's not you. It's Liverpool players. So I want you to go from the drippiest to just burn that. So let's have a look who we've got. We've got Ibu, the beast, Kanate. We've got Costas, the model, Tsimikas, and we've got Luis Diaz. 3 completely different looks. Who's you rating the most first of?
I'm gonna go Kanate. Okay. I feel like the rip's small enough, but you sit down and they don't get too big in it. So but then I feel like it was between him and Diaz, but Diaz's rips are too like, I know he's sitting down, but they're too like, it's too much. It's like, I like when it's not like the same amount of like, it's too much big rips.
So you're not feeling Costas's whatsoever?
At all. That is not.
That's my favourite.
You know what? I'm with you.
Maybe it's because when I was younger, I saw a girl have those trousers, and I always thought they look better on like women, like those type of rips.
Maybe that's why I like them.
Yeah, that's a good shirt. They do, those type do look good on women, but I feel like the way Costas is doing it there, and he's got the fat sole, the chunky sole shoes on as well, like he always does. I like that look. Abs, is Costas your favourite?
Yeah, it is. I really like the baggy look. I just really like that. I don't know if it's because I'd wear it. I like Kanate looks great as well. Like he's probably second. I'm not into Diaz's look at all. I'm just not into it. Like all the rips in a line. It literally looks like he might have done them himself.
Diaz looks like he looks like your standard like teenager now going out. Yeah. It looks like a standard kind of teenager. But no, I'm with Abs. I like Costas's. I think it's more thought out fashion as well. I think he's thought about this more. Ibu's just probably gone in the wardrobe and gone. Ibu's just that kind of chilled, knows what he's doing anyway, pulls it on. I was trying to find. Yeah, I like it. The look that Ibu's got probably wins for me, but Costas's. I've got to go with the jeans of Costas Tsimikas. I'm sorry, all. It's just got to be Costas. Ibu for Jared, but. That's the result on Drip, and that is today's show. Let me just get this comment off. Let's get us back to this main screen so we can say our goodbyes. Here we go. Culture Club, there we are. Boom. Culture Club back in. Oh, it's been great to have you back from the DR. It's been nice to have the show popping again. Abs, you feisty one, you. It's been great. I'll get
more argumentative.
I love it because you've given that argument from another side of the Liverpool fans. That's what we do. We're not just going to agree with each other for the sake of it. I really like your perspective on it. It's made me think about things I've said as well. And that's what it's about. Culture Club. It's been a pleasure. Oh, thank you so much. Abs, thank you so much. Both of you. You get off here and have a great day. We'll come back next week. Remember, follow us on Culture Club, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Follow the people in the links in the description for all the podcasts that Abigail and her artwork. Ash the podcast. It's not Ash the podcaster, but sorry, I tried to steal your tagline then. But make sure you follow everyone. But until next time, you'll never walk alone. Peace, people.